You are not in control of your mind. Distraction owns you. Every day, you swear you'll focus, you swear you'll get things done, but hours disappear into scrolling, notifications, and noise. You're not living, you're reacting. You don't run your day. Your distractions run it for you. Here's the truth you don't want to face. You're addicted. And like every addiction, it feels harmless until it consumes your life. Think about it. How many times today have you checked your phone without realizing it? How many times have you opened social media not even remembering why? How many half-finished tasks are piling up because you can't go 10 minutes without just checking something? This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of willpower. This is dependency. Your brain has been hijacked. Shocking truth number 1. Your distraction isn't random. It's engineered. Companies worth billions have spent decades designing apps, feeds, and notifications to hook you like a drug. The red notification bubble, the infinite scroll, the autoplay video. None of it is accidental. Every swipe, every tap, every second you stay is money in their pocket. They're not competing for your attention, they've stolen it. Shocking truth number 2. You're trading your life for cheap dopamine. Every notification gives you a micro hit of reward. It feels good for a second, then leaves you emptier than before. And because the real work of building your life feels slow, heavy, and demanding, your brain chooses the easy high instead. You think you're relaxing. You're not. You're numbing yourself. You're distracting yourself from the life you know you should be building. Now let's get brutally honest. Your addiction to distraction is why you're not where you want to be. It's why you're broke, unfit, lonely, or stuck. It's why your dreams are still just fantasies. You keep saying you need more time. You don't. You have time, you're just burning it, scroll by scroll, notification by notification, day after day. Here's the harsh reality. Focus is rare because most people don't own themselves anymore. And here's the even harsher truth. If you don't fix this, you'll die with a brain full of noise and a life full of regret. This isn't just about productivity. This is about attraction, relationships, and respect. You think people don't notice when you're half present, staring at your phone instead of listening? They do. You think your partner doesn't feel it when you choose a screen over their eyes? They do. Distraction makes you forgettable. It makes you weak. It makes you unattractive. So, what's the shift? Stop pretending distraction is harmless. Start treating it like poison, because that's what it is. Poison for your focus, poison for your relationships, poison for your future. Here's the first step. Recognize the cost. Every time you give into distraction, you're making a trade. That scroll is traded for the book you never read. That binge is traded for the workout you skipped. That endless browsing is traded for the business you never built. You're not just wasting time, you're killing possibility. Second step, retrain your brain for boredom. You've become so addicted to constant stimulation that silence feels unbearable. That's why you reach for your phone the second you're bored. But boredom is where clarity lives. It's where ideas surface. It's where growth begins. If you can't sit still with yourself for 10 minutes, how do you expect to handle the weight of a meaningful life? Third step, take back control through friction. Don't just try harder. That doesn't work. Build walls between yourself and distraction. Delete apps. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room. Make the easy thing hard and the hard thing easy. Control your environment so your environment doesn't control you. Here's your takeaway. You don't break addiction with willpower. You break it with awareness and design. Once you see distraction as the enemy, once you start reshaping your environment, once you embrace boredom instead of running from it, that's when you start to take your life back. Final slap of truth for this section. You're not losing focus because you're weak. You're losing focus because you've surrendered your brain to distraction. And until you decide to reclaim it, distraction will own you until the day you die. Distraction is not entertainment. It's sedation. You think you're relaxing when you scroll. You think you're unwinding when you binge watch. You think you're catching up when you refresh your feed the 10th time. But let's stop lying. None of that is rest. None of that is recovery. It's escape, and it's destroying you. The truth is, you're addicted to distraction because it's easier than facing yourself. Facing yourself means feeling the discomfort of your wasted time. Facing yourself means admitting you've delayed your goals for years. Facing yourself means acknowledging that your life is not where you want it to be. That's painful, and distraction numbs that pain. That's why you keep reaching for it, not because it's fun, but because it saves you from seeing the truth. Shocking truth number 3, your distractions are anesthetic. Every time you scroll, you're injecting your brain with temporary relief from reality. But just like any drug, the high wears off. And when it does, you're left with more guilt, more regret, more emptiness than before. That's why you need more and more of it to feel the same relief. Shocking truth number 4, distraction is not neutral. It's theft. It doesn't just take your time, it takes your presence. It takes your ability to connect. It takes your focus so deeply that when you finally look up, you realize hours are gone, days are gone, and life itself is slipping through your fingers. Let's be blunt. This is why you feel unfulfilled. You're not broken. You're not incapable. You're just drowning in noise. You've buried your true desires under layers of meaningless stimulation. And every time you silence your boredom with distraction, you silence your calling too. Now let's look at attraction dynamics, because distraction doesn't just kill your goals, it kills your relationships. Have you noticed how people are less magnetic when they're glued to screens? Have you noticed how much less respect you feel for someone who can't put their phone down during a conversation? That's you. That's what you look like when you let distraction win. Weak, unpresent, forgettable. So, what's the shift? Stop motivation, it's not discipline. It's awareness. You can't fight what you refuse to see. You must see distraction for what it really is, the enemy of your future. Here's the shift. Make distraction costly. Right now, distraction feels free. A few minutes here, a few scrolls there. But when you start attaching a price to it, everything changes. That 30 minutes on Instagram, that's 30 minutes you didn't work on your body. That hour on YouTube, that's an hour you didn't work on your business. That whole day lost to meaningless stimulation, that's a day stolen from your future self. Second, create friction. Stop letting distraction be the easy option. Delete the apps that eat you alive. Turn off every notification that isn't urgent. Lock your phone away while you work. You don't need to be stronger than distraction. You need to make distraction weaker than you. Third, practice presence. Start small. 5 minutes of deep focus on one task. 10 minutes of conversation with someone you care about without touching your phone. Train your brain to rediscover the power of attention, because the longer you practice presence, the less appealing distraction becomes. Here's the real kicker. Your brain is plastic. That means it adapts. Right now, it's wired for distraction. But the same way it learned to crave notifications, it can relearn to crave depth. The same way it was trained for noise, it can be trained for silence. You just have to retrain it, intentionally, daily, relentlessly. Takeaway? You don't need to delete all distraction, you need to dominate it. Use it on your terms, not the other way around. Entertainment in moderation, not sedation in excess. Presence as the default, distraction as the tool. Final slop of truth for this section: if you don't take back control of your attention, someone else will, and they'll profit from the life you should have lived. Here's the harsh truth. Distraction is killing your potential, one tiny decision at a time. It's not the giant mistakes that ruin lives. It's the small compromises repeated endlessly. 5 minutes of scrolling becomes 30. One quick check becomes 3 wasted hours. A single night lost turns into a wasted year. You're not destroyed by a catastrophe. You're destroyed by distraction in slow motion. And here's the kicker. You already know it. Every time you collapse into distraction, you feel the guilt, the nagging voice in your head whispering, "You should be doing more. You're better than this." You've trained yourself to ignore that voice, to silence it with another scroll, another notification, another binge. That voice is your conscience, begging you to take back control. Shocking truth number 5. Distraction is cowardice disguised as comfort. You don't run to your phone because you're curious. You run to it because you're afraid. Afraid of discomfort, afraid of stillness, afraid of confronting the gap between who you are and who you know you could be. Distraction lets you hide from yourself, but hiding is the fastest way to die unfulfilled. Shocking truth number 6. Every distraction is a broken promise. You promised yourself you'd change. You promised yourself you'd chase that goal. You promised yourself you'd build that life. And then you traded those promises for pixels and noise. How can you respect yourself when you keep breaking your own word? Self-respect doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from follow-through. And distraction robs you of that every single day. Let's talk about relationships, attraction, influence, respect. These things are built on energy. People can feel when you're focused. They can feel when you're present. They can feel when you're fully engaged. That's magnetic. That's rare. That's powerful. But distraction scatters your energy into fragments. It leaves you half present, half alive. And nobody is drawn to that. Nobody admires it. Nobody trusts it. So what's the solution? Build an identity that rejects distraction. Don't say, I'll try to focus more. That's weak. That's temporary. Instead, say, I am the kind of person who finishes what I start. I am the kind of person who is present. I am the kind of person who doesn't waste their life on noise. Identity is stronger than intention. When you shift your identity, your actions follow. Here's your practical path forward. Audit your distractions. Write them down. Every app, every website, every habit that steals your time. Don't justify them, expose them. Redesign your environment. Delete apps. Kill notifications. Put friction between you and your vices. Make focus the path of least resistance. Set presence rituals. Choose daily moments where distraction is banned. Morning routines without screens, deep work blocks without interruptions, conversations without phones. Protect those rituals like your life depends on it, because it does. Reward clarity, not noise. Celebrate finishing a task. Celebrate being present. Celebrate progress. Train your brain to crave focus the same way it used to crave distraction. Here's the mindset shift. Distraction isn't harmless. It's the enemy. Treat it as such. Every time you resist, you get stronger. Every time you give in, you get weaker. This is war. And it's not against your phone or the apps or the world. It's against your own surrender. Final slap of truth. You're addicted to distraction, but you don't have to stay that way. Taking back control is easier than you think. Stop negotiating with noise. Stop numbing yourself. Stop wasting your life on meaningless stimulation, because your future self is watching, and they're begging you to win this fight.